तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. The American writer, the Christopher Ishatmananda, he mentioned about this Ramakrishna as a phenomenon, a remarkable person. Sri Ramakrishna, a phenomenon, a remarkable person. Why? These pages, if we read from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, that is from page 543, then we will find that Sri Ramakrishna himself is giving an account of his spiritual practices. And that is really very interesting how a person, one person, can practice so many varieties of spiritual disciplines. Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the devotee, God made me pass through the disciplines of various paths. First, according to the Purana, then according to the Tantra, I also followed the discipline of the Vedas. At first I practiced sadhana in the Panchavati. I made a grove of tulsi plant and used to sit inside it and meditate. Sometimes I cried with a longing heart, Mother, Mother, or Rama, Rama. Now this, he is going on telling, I practiced the discipline of the Tantra, and then I practiced the discipline of the Vedas. Vedas means the Vedanta. I became a sannyasi. I used to lie down in the Chandi. Chandi is a small place where usually the people used to change their dresses for the bathing and in the Ganga there. Now he is telling, the essence of the Vedanta is the Brahman alone is real. Essence of the Vedanta, the Brahman alone is real, and the world illusory. Satchidananda Brahman described in the Vedas, and the same Satchidananda Shiva of the Tantra, and Satchidananda Krishna of the Purana. These are the three, the roads, the paths of the Hindus. The Hinduism, apparently it shows that there are so many varieties of sects are there. No. In reality, all Hindus are following to the same goal. Sometimes they call it as Brahman, sometimes Shiva, and sometimes Krishna or Vishnu. So these are the three paths. One is the Vedantic, another Tantric, another Vaishnavism. But all paths are leading to the same goal. Uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna is this: he practiced all the three paths. Now just let us think about the Tantra. Tantra means the actions, activities. Tanyate vistaryate jnanam iti tantram. Vistaryate, tanyate means vistaryate. The Sanskrit word tanyate means vistaryate, another Sanskrit word. And what does it mean? That is everywhere. Vistaraman, everywhere. What can be everywhere? Any human form? No. Then what is it? Consciousness, Chaitanya. The Chaitanya, the consciousness is everywhere. And that has been termed as Shiva. We have to notice this. Only the name has given as Shiva and nothing else. And in the Vedanta also saying, the same consciousness all pervading everywhere, they have termed this, given the name as Brahman. And the Brahman also the same everywhere. That is also the consciousness. This Tantra and the Vedanta and the Vishnu, again and again we have discussed over here, he is also Vistareti Vishnu. He is also all pervading. Most of the Hindus also don't know it. That is the problem. Sometimes some people will say, no, we only worship the Krishna, we worship the Vishnu, and you should not enter into our temple, or you should not come over here. I am not going to take the sanctified food, the prasada from you, and like this, like that. All ignorance. That's why the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is the book, which can truly help us to understand the religion. Today's topic, the subtle are the ways to Dharma. Subtle, Shukshma, are the ways to Dharma. And what is this Dharma? The ultimate reality, understanding the ultimate reality. The people are very intelligent. In the worldly matters, they are many, they are scientists, they are researchers, they are doctors, there are so many. But if you talk about the religion, they talk like children. Why? Because this knowledge is very, very subtle. And what is the subtlety? Understanding one thing, that all this manifestation that we see are all illusory. It's so hard to believe. When they say that all this manifestation that you see, you taste, you touch, you feel, are illusory, including my body, my mind, and my children, all this all around. Illusory. How can you think in this? So obviously, it was not possible for all the people to accept this. So they started another path. Okay. And they won't leave people to suffer. Because if you are accepting these phenomena, the manifested one, as true, you are going to suffer. And that is the reason, again and again, the God, in a very subtle way, it comes and trying to help people. And actually, you like this, okay. Then they will again try in a different way. Tantra developed. Tantra is the activity. In the activity, the path of knowledge, no activity. Only mentally you are going on discriminating, vichara. You're constantly, you are trying to understand, I am not the body, I am not these, I am not these, I am not these. And that way, so difficult. So naturally, second, Tantra. What is the Tantra? Activity. What is that activity? I am thinking that this is the source of power, and that power I am invoking, and from that power I will understand. What I will understand? That consciousness everywhere, all pervading. And that consciousness is working in the form of the Kali. And that is the reason this is this way it goes. This is the Tantra. Even some people cannot do that. So for them, more softened way, and that is Vaishnavism, the devotion. So they come and they cook for food for the God and dress for the God. See, now we are covering the God. So in the night time we should sleep, so the God is covered, and this way. And so wonderful, very soft and so loving. So I will say good night to God, and then we will go like this, like this. And we will cover this one also, as we always close the door and then go to bed, and we take a cover on the bed, like the same thing. So that is called the Vaishnavism. And the Vishnu again, then slowly that devotee will also understand the same Vishnu is all pervading. Now the thing is all pervasiveness and limitedness. Who is limited? Me, I. And who is all pervasive? God. And what I should do? Try to understand that I am not limited. I am also all pervasive. And why I should do that? Because as long as I will go on thinking that I am limited, I am small, I am going to suffer. Again and again I am going to suffer. And what is the suffering? Birth and death. 8 months in the womb is not a joy. It's terrible. And the small baby in the womb of a mother, how he is somehow surviving. And then after the birth also, so many years passed. And then growing up, also so many challenges. And the whole life are nothing but the challenges, tension and all these things. And one day I die. What is the joy? We do it because there is no other option. And just we think that we will go and dance in the bar and drink and drive and do this, and I am going to attend the marriage ceremony, I am going to do this. All these things I am searching for what? Joy. But the joy is all temporary joys. The one group of people, after attending a marriage ceremony, they were all coming back and they were all singing, dancing inside a bus, 50 of them. And then the driver also perhaps, he was also dancing, sitting in the wheel, and then all of them they have gone. 50 of them. They went for joy, they met the death. So this is the life every day we are reading in the newspaper. Circle of birth and death, birth and death. When we will understand that, there must be an end to this. And that is the reason when Jesus is telling the kingdom of heaven is within you. What is the kingdom of heaven? Permanent joy. Kingdom of heaven is nothing but the permanent joy. Amritasya putra, Vedanta says. What is the Amrita? What is that? Amrit means the nectar. What is that? Permanent joy. And how the permanent joy will come? When I will know that I am not limited. And how we will reach to that? So, 3 different paths have been offered by the Hinduism. The path of knowledge, Vedanta, the path of action, Tantra, and path of devotion, Vaishnavism. So these are the 3 major paths there that is leading. Now, if you go to the Hindu temples, one is the Kali temple, one is the Durga temple, another is Rama temple, another is this temple, that temple. So many varieties of temples. But any temple dedicated to any deity, actually it is devotion. So it is all in one category. And if you go to the Tantra, the activities, the actions, so that is another. And third is, you find that Ashtavakra Samhita. Then it says, no, that you have not born here. Unnecessarily you are thinking in this way. Completely different. The Gaudapada Karika. This is different. So these 3 paths are offered for the 3 different type of people according to their intellectual understanding, their capacity of understanding. And Sri Ramakrishna is telling, God made me to pass through all these 3. Can you imagine? In one life we cannot complete one path. It's so difficult. And here Sri Ramakrishna, God made me pass through the disciplines of various paths. And these 3, the three roads of the Hinduism. I cannot utter the word Om in Samadhi. Why is that? I will request you to give the attention to this. Om, that is over there on the top of the God. There's so much of respect we give to that Om. Om iti Brahma. In the Upanishad, in our higher scripture, it says Om is the Brahman. And we have discussed over here from this pulpit that what is that Om? Om is nothing but the Brahman, Shabda Brahman. And now here, Sri Ramakrishna, and page 544, he is telling, I cannot utter the word Om in Samadhi. Why is that? I cannot say Om unless I come down very far from the state of Samadhi. So do you understand what is God? What is God realization? What is Atma Jnana? What is Brahma Jnana? What is the supreme knowledge? This much. Even to utter the Om, the sound, the one has to come down to a level where it can think and then utter. And what is this Samadhi? Is a Eka Sarupa. It becomes all same. So naturally there is no difference, there is no other thing and not necessary to say anything. Friends, we are discussing, of course, here. I am telling you, are listening, but you know, it is all intellectually we are trying to gaze, imagine what is it. But what is actually it is, we do not know unless and until we really realize it. And it is very difficult for the ordinary sadhakas, ordinary people to realize this. This is only for those when the Jesus says, I and my Father in heaven are one. This is not the ordinary thing. Not that anyone can say that. Saying and declaring is easy. Now we are free. America is a free country. We can say, hey, I and my Father in heaven are one. Who is going to sue against you? Nobody. Okay, you do think that? Okay, continue. But truly, if you like to understand what it means, one and not two. And that means there is nothing else. I don't know how I can express it. Because this oneness, the feeling of oneness is so unique. Those who are trying to meditate, sometimes you can feel that you don't have the body. You are not meditating. You are meditating. I am meditating. This conception is a separation. I am meditating. That means still the I is there. And when you forget that you are meditating and completely merged in the consciousness, that is called samadhi. It's not so easy. And from there to come back, and it says, I saw, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I saw the visions described in the scriptures. Now after coming down, he is giving the authorization. The scriptures, when we are reading the scriptures, the Dharma Sutras and all the holy books, he says, sometimes I saw the universe filled with sparks of fire. Sometimes I saw all the quarters glittering with light, as if the world were a lake of mercury. Sometimes I saw the world as if made of liquid silver. Sometimes again I saw all the quarters illumined as if with the light of Roman candles. In Calcutta in those days, they were using a candle, the gas lights, they used to call it Roman candles. So you see the experiences tally with those described in the scriptures. Jyotira Jyoti, everywhere that light. When you are meditating, forgetting your body, that is the basic. Then your mind, then your thoughts, and then you are marching into that, and you do not know what is that. Then again, slowly you are coming down, bringing down the mind to this level, and in that level you see whatever we read in the scriptures, it is in the second grade. In the first grade, it is impossible, no one can describe. So they are coming down and then they are describing. And all these descriptions, it must be tallied with the those who are practicing it in the future, next generation and generation. So that is called scientific way of understanding. Some of the time, some religion, they say, only he can understand it and nobody else. Wrong. Jesus is the only begotten Son of God, and whatever the experiences that Jesus had, only Jesus could have and nobody else, because we are all sinners. Wrong. That is the reason we cannot go along with the Christianity. Why? Because that is not the scientific way of understanding. If 1 plus 1 equal to 2, it will be everywhere the same. It must be. Otherwise, something wrong. Whatever the practices that Jesus did, if that has taken him to that height where he can say, I and my Father in heaven are one, the same thing, the same way, I repeat, if anyone can practice anytime, anywhere, must experience the same thing. If not, then in that formula there's something wrong. Obviously. So this is, sometimes nowadays in the modern time when you are sending the emails, if you are missing one I, it won't go, it will come back. Only one I. And you know it is wrong, my computer is not working, or these people, not like that. You must have done something wrong. So once again you go back and then check, and then only you will see if you can type it properly, it will surely act. Because the system is like this, and the same way, the spiritual life, that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, why unless the man who was not having at all ego, why he is telling about himself? And in so many pages he is telling that I practice this, I practice this, I practice this, and these are the experiences. Why he said like that? To give us the confidence, if you also practice, you will have the same experiences. If you practice in the same way, you will have the same experiences. It was revealed to me further that God Himself has become the universe and all its living beings. Friends, again, this is Hinduism. After practicing the knowledge, practicing Tantra, practicing the devotion, it comes to that one. And it says, it was revealed to me further that God Himself has become the universe and all its living beings and the 24 cosmic principles. It is like the process of evolution and involution. Evolution and involution. The Hindu never say that this is God was created. No. The world was created. Universe was created by God. No, it is not. It's an involution and evolution. It goes in it comes out. Projection. So that's why Swamiji said, we do not know. Otherwise, the problem will be the philosophical problem. When I was first born, I was not having any karma. If I was not having any karma or karma phala, the result of karma, so why should I suffer? Why should I be bound? Whole Hinduism, the philosophy will crumble down on that. If you say that the world was created when so year before, okay. But that time I came, or whoever was, they were manifesting first time. And if it is the first time in their lives, there was no karma at all. So how it is that they are suffering, some people are enjoying, some people are suffering, this, that, and you say that it's according to the karma, that won't be possible. So it is the God is creating and taking it back. Yatha urnabhi srijate grinnate cha. Yatha sataha purushat keshalomani. They are giving the example. Tata aksharat sambhavati havishyam. So from the akshara, the very contradictory words they are using. This akshara, it never changes. But the same akshara which is not getting any change, any time, sambhavati havishyam, from that this world as if is manifesting. If it is so, that means it is changing. Again it says no. How it is possible? The God was alone. Tadiva soma idam agrasi ekam eva aditiyam. So he was addressing a young boy. Oh dear one, in the beginning there was only one. Ekam eva, and there was no two. And from that one, all these various things have come. The Sunday when we were discussing the Bhagavatam, the same thing we were discussing. In a different language, in a different way, they describe the same. So this, we are nothing but the part and parcel of the God. Then why we can't feel that we are God? Why we are thinking that we are limited? Because it has been superimposed on us that we are limited. That's all, and nothing else. So this is the way when again and again you are telling someone that you cannot do anything, you cannot do anything. So after some time you'll say, oh, I can't do anything. This is the problem. So you have to understand this. I am the Son of God. If you always think in this way, I am pure, I am having all power. No, it is not madness. It is the self-confidence. So this whole world that we see, beyond that, or you can say above that, the consciousness is there. Without the consciousness, nothing can move. My body cannot move without the consciousness. Otherwise, dead body would have all worked over here. And that would have been very dangerous, of course. If all the dead bodies are roaming here and there, then where the living being will go? Now the dead bodies and the living bodies, what is the difference? Both are bodies. What is the difference then? Consciousness. One is having the consciousness, another is not having the consciousness. And what is that consciousness? What is that consciousness? That is the main idea. And if we can understand that consciousness, then you have solved the problem. And how to solve that problem? How to understand that consciousness? 3 different paths, 3 different systems, 3 different practices. According to your aptitude, according to your capacity, your taste, is been offered. Vedanta, Tantra and Vaishnavism. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I saw after that the God is everything and nothing else. And I would see God in meditation, in the state of samadhi, and I would see the same God when my mind come back to the outer world. This also needs your attention. See the one or two lines, and so important. I would see God in meditation, in the state of samadhi. That means samadhi means when there is no difference. Only one consciousness is there. And I would see the same God when my mind came back to the outer world. When looking at this side of the mirror, I would see Him alone. And when I am looking on the reverse side of I saw the same God. There is nothing but God. And this is pure Vedanta. And nothing and nothing and nothing except God. So whom to criticize? That sometimes some people, whatever we discuss is nothing but the social condition. But the spiritual level, we are all same. That's why again and again we the Vedantin, the followers of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, we always say how we can criticize Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, how it is possible? We cannot. Because we are the followers of a person, a divine personality who has realized God in samadhi and in the waking stage. In the waking stage we see differences, but he said, no, the same God. If you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with your open eyes? You can, you should. And that is the ultimate of religion. And what is that God? Consciousness. That consciousness, as we were discussing, without the consciousness, this body is of no use. The mind is of no use. So it is the consciousness alone. And the devotees listen to these words with rapt attention. Then Sri Ramakrishna is telling, he could understand the devotees to some extent scared. What will happen to us? We can't go to that far. Then he is coming down and is talking to those students. They were sitting over there, the devotees. God's devotees have nothing to fear. Look at it. He never mentioned Krishna's devotees or Rama's devotees or Durga. No. He said God's devotees. Now who is God? Consciousness. And what is the consciousness? It can manifest anywhere in any form. It can manifest anywhere in any form. So obviously, of course, Vedanti, when they talk about the God is the same consciousness reflected on Maya is God. Same consciousness reflected on Ahamkara is a Jiva, individual soul. We both are having the consciousness. One is having a little consciousness on the ego and another, and naturally suppose a huge pond. This is our Michigan lake. When it is having the reflection of the sun, so many thousands of reflections everywhere, wherever you go. And then a little girl playing with a little small water, something she is carrying. On that also, a small minutest reflection of sun is also there. So that is Jivatma, we can say that. And that is the Ishvara. But it is all reflection, it is not original. So reflection of the consciousness on the Maya, sum total of ignorance is Ishvara. And reflection on a little ignorance, ahamkara, is called jiva. And he says, God's devotees have nothing to fear. They are His own, and He always stands by them. So what a great assurance. Because he knew that majority of us, we won't be able to stand in this way. I don't blame anyone. I am the maker of my own destiny, that Swamiji declared. You are the maker of your own destiny. From a different angle, he said, Vedantic angle. Don't put your finger here and there and there. It is you, you and you. And the Vedantic, that strong mind, that discrimination is not possible for everyone. I need someone whom I can go and embrace, whom I can go and sit on the lap, who will embrace me and give me comfort. I can say Father, I can say Mother, I can feel that there is someone who is taking care. So that's why God, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling, God's devotees have nothing to fear. Why? I have my Father, I have my Mother. Anything, I just run to him and say, Father, this is happening, that is happening. Father will say, no problem, I will take care of it. The children are always very happy when they see the father or the mother nearby. Why? Because they know that they are there. We need not to be worried. For our food, for our shelter, for our everything, they will take care. So this way, they are His own. He always stands by them. Recently, you have noticed a picture has been published and it has become viral in the internet world, that a father and a daughter, they were crossing a river. I don't know where, maybe in the Mexico somewhere. They are coming to America, and the father carried the daughter on her shoulder, crossed the river, asked the little girl to sit in this side so that he will go back and bring the mother again with some other maybe things. But the little girl was terribly afraid to sitting alone there. So when the father went to some extent, she could not restrain, she again started running towards the father, but it was water. And she was so little, it was not possible. So she jumped and then she wanted to reach the father, and the father also tried to save her, and both of them, they passed away. And the picture they were describing is really pathetic. That the girl, she was putting the hand through the t-shirt of the father so that she can hold the shoulder and the neck of the father tightly. She wanted to get the safety. Where? On the father. So the father and the mother, if they are there, the children always feel, father is there. Of course, the father tried, but he's a human. Both of them, they passed away. It's a very pathetic, but anyway, social and political situation. So it proves that we need someone. The devotees need someone, and that is God. And God gives this assurance. The Mukherjee brothers saluted the master. Their carriage was ready near the veranda, and north of the room, the master stood facing the north. On his left was the Ganges. In front of him were the Navat, and the garden, and the Kutibari. So these are the places, those who have visited the Dakshineshwar can understand. And they were going, and Sri Ramakrishna remained standing. Sri Ramakrishna said this word, the God's devotees have nothing to fear. Now, we find this picture. When the devotees are going away from Him to their respective places, the God is quietly standing by the side of the holy river Ganga and remained standing. As the carriage rolled away, the devotees looked back at the Master's face, beaming with compassion and love. The devotees of God have nothing to fear. So if we accept that Ramakrishna is the God, he is always standing there to protect us. Now, it's a Sunday description the Master Masha is giving. It's Sunday, September 21st, 1884. I will just pass those things. Then Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, is a page 546. I was once taken to the Maidan. Maidan is a very open the field here, still there in Calcutta. And to see the balloon go up, in those days that was the great thing in the 17th, 18th century. So the balloon is going up. There I noticed a young English boy leaning against a tree, and his body bent in 3 places. At once, it at once brought before me the vision of Krishna. Now he is describing those who are constantly remembering God. What happens? A little, anything, immediately the ignition, as if. Immediately it will be ignited. The feeling of God. He saw an English boy standing and a young boy who was standing leaning. So the 3 places is the neck and the waist and the knee. And the Krishna is standing like this, and the waist and the neck. So 3 in this way. So that's why it say Krishna is also known as Tribhanga Murari. Murari, Tribhanga, in 3 different places, broken. So the body is very soft. And so the moment he saw that English boy, he didn't see the boy, he saw the God. So that is the devotee. The devotee always see ordinary things, but that gives him the idea of God. Immediately he imagined that God. Then the master is telling, Radha had attained Mahabhava. These are all bhava. Bhava means mental condition. One person is constantly, one lady constantly says, why the God is not revealing him to me? I have not taken initiation. Does it mean without initiation I won't get? I don't know, it is not like that. Initiation is a process, it smoothen the path, that's true. But the main thing is love, main thing is devotion. And if you go on crying to God, surely God will reveal. But how? No one knows. The God will surely manifest. But now if I go and tell her that everything is God, it is difficult for her to accept that. So now the condition is God is separate, God should come, God should manifest before me, and she is going on praying, crying. Sometimes whole night she cried for God. So like that she is passing the days. So I am really, if he is truly doing it, I am really wondering, so this is a rare type of sadhana, a rare type of practice. So this Sri Ramakrishna is telling what happens for everything, every moment, everywhere. The revelation will be of the God. Why? Mahabhava. Radha was having, Sri Radha was having the Mahabhava. What is that bhava? Bhava, that mental condition. And Maha, as I was telling, sometimes we use the word Maha to give the emphasis. This is the ultimate. Mahaprasada, the other day, Sunday I was telling. So Mahaprasada. Prasada means the sanctified food, and Maha means very highly sanctified. So this way, the Mahabhava, the emotion, the highly, on that condition it goes. What is that? She could not differentiate herself, separate herself from Krishna. That is Mahabhava. She could not separate herself from the Krishna. The Mahabhava means I am that. When a Vedantin, he is practicing, and then lastly, he realizes that I am that. Aham asmi, so aham ashmi. I am that consciousness. And there is no separation, nothing else. Mahabhava, we can say, is just like that. When that particular aspect of God I love, I like, I worship, I concentrate, I become that. That is called the Mahabhava. There is no desire behind the ecstatic love of the gopis. A true lover does not seek anything from God, does not seek anything from God. If there is any desire, then it won't come. A little desire. There's the stories they say in that Bhagavatam again. Then there was a desire in the mind of the Radha that Krishna should be always with me and with nobody else. He should be with me only. The love is very jealous. So naturally, Radha was thinking in that way. That day, Krishna never appeared before her. And she saw Krishna everywhere with other gopinis. But without her, why? Desire. I only should have God and nobody else. That is wrong thing. So there is a desire that in this world, I should only realize God and nobody else, know it for sure. No God will appear before you. So this way we have Sri Ramakrishna. It is very troublesome to process occult power. Again he is giving and that one should be very, very careful. Occult power. The moment we are trying to concentrate our mind, what actually we do, we concentrate the nature. The mind, we are slowly concentrating. And when we are focusing on the nature and revealing the power of the nature. Very automatically it comes. Those who are practicing the sadhana, little bit of these and that obviously come. But one should not practice religion only to acquire that. But many people, they do it. They are thinking if we can have this power, that power, it will be this and that. Then really rich people will immediately come, they will pay you money and they will purchase that power, and ultimately you will be again going back to the square one. So that's why one must be very, very careful. He is telling that one sadhu acquired, possessed of that power. And he was very happy, he was sitting. Then one day the God came in the form of an old man, just to test him. And he said, I heard that you have tremendous occult power. Can you, suddenly in the jungle, an elephant was passing. He said, can you kill this elephant? He smiled and said, yes, it's possible. So he took a little dust, uttered some mantra, threw it, and the elephant fell down, dead. Then the nature again that the old man, God, in the form of the old man, said, can you give the life back to the elephant? Well, that is also possible. Once again he did. He uttered the mantra and threw the dust, elephant again came back to life. Then that old man said, elephant died, and elephant again came back to life. What happened to you? What happened to you? You are only thinking that, oh, I have the power to kill, I have the power to give the life. But now the question is come. So he says, do you feel uplifted by it? Do you feel uplifted by it? Has it enabled you to realize God? Saying these, the Lord vanished. So these two lines I only read, and this is very important. I am doing this, I am doing that, I have the power, I have this, that, so many. But are you elevated by that? Have you realized God? And what is that God realization? Unselfishness and love. Love and unselfishness. And there should not have any desire, selfish desire. The desire for the others. Oh, please give them love as Jesus is praying. Oh God, forgive those, for they do not know what they do. This is the desire that God should bless them. This is the desire. Sarvastaratu durgani sarva bhadrani pashyatu. Let everyone be free from the misery. Let everyone have enjoyment and all this. This is the prayer. This is not desire. So this way, if we can, then finally, Sri Ramakrishna's the statement which we took as a subject of discussion today. Subtle are the ways of Dharma. Subtle are the ways of Dharma. It's very subtle. Sometimes some people, they come, they stay, they practice. Almost when they are reaching, then some type of craziness will come. They will start doing this, they will start doing that. Sometimes some people, they live alone. And by doing that, they feel, I know everything. Another problem comes. They don't understand that. They are thinking, I'm fine. I don't talk to anybody. I don't mix with anybody. I have no feeling for anybody. Like this, but they don't understand. They are stuck in that. So God realization means the manifestation of the unselfishness and the love. That should be there. Otherwise, it is not. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, a thread cannot pass through the eye of a needle if it has the smallest fiber sticking out. A very, very difficult path to realize God. But it is difficult, not impossible. It is possible. Why? Because so many people, they have already realized. And that proves that it is possible. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming this evening. Let us conclude over here today and again in the next Tuesday. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa drita vigraham vai Ishavataram Parameshamityam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpana Mastu.